What's up? It's Lucas, and in today's video, we're talking about how to stand out as an online coach. This is a really popular question, and this was just asked in the online coaching community. That's a free Facebook group of over like 5,500 online coaches, and the response or the amount of people who wanted an answer to this was massive, was huge, and so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna shoot a really well detailed, awesome video. It's gonna be a little bit longer, but everything we talk about in this video is gonna help you position, help you niche down, help you stand out, and ultimately answer the question of, in the online space with so much noise, with so much competition, with so many people posting about their coaching services and trying to sell their coaching, how do you ultimately stand out? And although there's probably 25 different answers I can give to this, I'm gonna really just hone in on some of the biggest, some of the most important ones of how to stand out as an online coach. So I'm gonna flip this really quick. And we're going to talk about some of the key concepts, some of the biggest things that'll help you stand out. Cool, got it, awesome. So if you're ultimately looking to get more clients or sell more coaching, yes, that's the outcome. But in order to get that, we need to stand out, we need to get attention, we need to get people saying, hey, I really resonate with you, with your mission, with your story, and with everything you do, and I like your solution. I like how you say things, how you articulate things, how you communicate things. You're the only choice for me, and I will pay you, and this is important, I will pay you whatever it takes. We don't want price being a factor. If we're starting to compete on price and trying to stand out, you won't notice anywhere in here do I say price. Because if we're trying to stand out based on what you charge as being the cheapest, or like, you know, my prices, I see coaches doing like $49 a week products or $49 a week services where you get a coaching call per week. Now you're competing on price, and that's a very terrible place to be in 99% of the time. There's a time and place for it, but if you're looking to actually build a sustainable coaching business, we don't want to be competing on price. Awesome, cool, got it. So the first thing I want to talk about is human. What I mean when I say be a human is actually show up as a human online, and that really can dive into many different topics, like being yourself, sharing your wins as well as your losses, not trying to be perfect online, but showing up as a human or as a personal brand. That's one other way to kind of phrase this as well, is if we start trying to show up as a rigid cookie cutter type company. A company is great if you've got 5 or 6 or 10 coaches working for you and you need to expand, but when you're starting, be a human. Understand that there's a human connection. Even though it's online, and even though you're selling coaching, and even though you're selling a service, at the end of the day, it's still a human connection that has to be made. And so show up as a human. Don't try to be something bigger than where you're at right now, and that's awesome. Show up as a human being. The people online that are looking at you are also human beings. We've got to make that connection. Simply stated, be a person. Like you are a person. Share that stuff. We connect through the humanness, through our personalities, through the stories, through the things we've been through. And so ultimately the big umbrella of this is you're a human, you're a person, you're connecting with people. Show up as a human, which leads me to number 2, story. Share your story. That automatically, instantly creates a uniqueness about you because you shared your story. Now, your story doesn't have to be this epic, I lived here and then I got freaking abducted into a submarine and spit out by a whale, and then I lived on an island for 3 years and didn't eat food. I ate snails, and then I found my way, I built a raft, and through that time I developed this system, this process. It doesn't have to be that epic. It just has to be real. What is your story? What got you here? What are some of the challenges, the struggles, the thing you've been through? Because that's what your clients are going to relate to you about. And if we try to copy someone else's hero stories, their journey, and try to make it seem epic and larger than life, it's going to sort of fade into a general type story that we see in the movies and see what other coaches are doing. It's got to be your story, like your specific story. You've got to share it, and you've got to make it known, and you can't be afraid to share it. There's another element to it. I won't talk about it too much, but it's something we do with clients is they create their story, and then we pick and choose which parts of the story we want to share, because some parts of the story may not be relevant to your clients, and they may not even resonate with it, or they don't care because it doesn't lead them towards your coaching, your services. But in a nutshell, share your story, share it often, share it all, the wins and the struggle, and believe it or not, your clients or the people watching or trying to connect with you are going to resonate more with your struggle than where you are now, and you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing big things. Número 3, vision and mission. I talk about this with clients all of the time. A big mission, a big vision. What's the big vision? What's the big dream? Where are you trying to get to? What does that look like? Make it massive, make it real, every time you think about your vision and what you want to accomplish, you like vibrate at such a high frequency. You're just like, this is what I'm going after. And share that. You will find people who resonate with it, who want to be a part of it. They will become your clients. They will become your brand ambassadors. They will become fans of yours. They'll share your message. You've got to have a big vision. But if you only have a vision and you talk about it all the time, but you're not doing anything to move towards it, you don't have a plan, you don't have a mission, then you're just kind of seen as a crazy or as a loony eventually, because no one believes anything anymore because you're not actually moving towards it. What is that big, massive vision? And what's the mission that is helping you get there? What's the mission you're on to accomplish that vision? Share that stuff daily, weekly, in all of your content. Make sure that that's known on the website. Here's my vision, here's the mission, here's what we're doing to make that vision a reality, and you'll attract your tribe, you'll attract your people, and you'll instantly stand out. Values. Again, something I do with clients is we get really clear on what do they value, and we eventually create a creed with that. A creed being like, I believe in, I value this is what I stand for, this is what I strongly believe in. And by doing that, you're creating polarity without actually trying to create polarity. Because you'll have people who don't resonate with it, who don't approve of your message, who don't agree with you, and that's great. They'll never be clients. You don't want them as clients, and they're the ones who will sometimes create some ripples and a little bit of, they'll comment on your stuff and create a bit of a debate, which is great. But the people who do resonate with your values, with your creed, with the things you believe in, with the things you strongly resonate with, they're going to resonate with the same, and they're going to meet you at that frequency, that vibration. They're going to meet you where you are, and they're going to say, I love your stuff. For some reason, you're going to get this all the time. When you hone in on your creed or on your values, you're going to get people saying, I've been looking at 5 or 8 different coaches, but I just resonated with what you have to say, or with who you are, or with what you believe in. And that's gold. And I know a lot of coaches aren't doing that, or they're afraid to do it, or they think it's not important. Do it. I had a client who was doing they were part of a religious group, and they were really afraid to share that. And so they weren't sharing it because they were afraid of the feedback. And I was like, let's go for it. If that's something you absolutely resonate with, and you want your clients at least on that same frequency, or have that same belief, or be open-minded enough to work with you at that capacity or at that level. And when we did, the quality of clients increased, what they could charge increased, and the amount of traction and traffic and the attention they got around it increased, because they weren't afraid to share some of the things they really value. So what is that for you? Make a list of 8 or 10 and share it in your content. Create a creed at the bottom of your website. Your values, share that with your clients. Here's the stuff I believe in. They're going to become your ambassadors, they're going to become your fans. Next, one problem. Solve one problem and solve it well. Be the best at it. If you're a life coach, that's not enough. If you're a fitness coach, that's not enough. If you're a business coach or a marketing coach, that's not enough. We've got to sub-niche or get specific on what's that one problem you solved, and you're the best in the world at it. It's what you do. It's your specialty. What is that you do? Right? One specific problem, not 3, not 5. I know you may have the capacity to do that. I know you may have a lot of skills and you can help all of these people, but if you're really real with yourself, who is that perfect client and what is their big problem they're facing? And then create everything around that problem. All of your content, your website, your solutions, your programs, everything you put out, every video is specifically focused on this one problem you're helping solve, not 2, not 3, not 5. You'll get there eventually. You'll be able to expand and create different programs, but right now we've got to focus on one problem. You may have many ways you solve it. You may have a lot of tools you pull from to help solve that problem, but it's one problem and one problem only. You can search and rank so much higher on YouTube, in Google. You'll attract people who are looking to solve that one specific problem. You'll be the obvious choice. Your competitor or someone else might solve that problem and some, but you'll be seen as the expert, you'll be seen as the authority in it because you solve one problem. So right now, get specific on that one problem. Let me know below. What's that one problem you solve? And solve it well. Become the expert. Create everything around that one problem, and you'll stand out very quickly. And finally, this one's, fairly on the nose, but it's worth saying to sum all this up. Be you. There is nobody like you on the internet. I know it can be tempting to see what other people are doing and try to copy them because it seems like it's working so well, but you're doing yourself a disservice. They've already have their niche. They have their followers. They have their people, and they're already tapped into who they are. Be you. What you wear and what you enjoy wearing, and if that's you and you're comfortable in it, wear it. Right? I remember being told, shave your beard if you're getting into business coaching and consulting. Like, look more professional. And I was like, I like my beard. And it's not like, what? Like, this is me. And yes, I'll cuss sometimes. And yes, I'm passionate. And yes, I'm energetic. And yes, sometimes I go over the top and I'm too much, but it's me. And I attract people who not only appreciate that energy, they're looking to pull from that energy, and they're generally energetic and enthusiastic themselves, and they're looking to be in that state more often, and it's me. Do I evolve? Do I change? Yes. Can you work on certain parts of who you are? Can you change who you are if you don't like it? Yes. You're not defined by, well, that's just how I am, that's who I am, so I guess I'll just keep doing it this way. I'm not saying that. Work on yourself, develop yourself, your speaking, your vocal tonality, and any other aspects of yourself that maybe aren't serving your mission and your vision. You can work on, you can change, but ultimately at the core, who are you? Who are you comfortable being? Who do you want to own? And then share that and don't apologize for it. And just with this, we could go into another 22 tactics. I'm not going to, because just with this, you're above and ahead of pretty much everyone else who's cookie cutter coach, who's trying to do things like everyone else is doing, and who's getting frustrated because their content and their message isn't being heard. You've got to stay true to who you are. You've got to be a human. You've got to share your story, your vision, your mission, your values, your one big problem. You know, why you do what you do, which is really part of the vision, the mission. Share it. Share all of it. And don't apologize for it. Yes, you'll have people who think you're too much or don't like this about you, and you may be tempted to like turn it down and try to fit into a mold. That is death for an online business. That's death for a coach. That's death for a product service. That's death for a brand. You've got to stand out, put your stake in the ground, say, yo, this is who I am. I got good things about me. I got bad things about me. I got flaws. I'm going to share them just as much as I share my wins. I'm going to talk about my vision. I'm going to dream big. I'm going to share it confidently. I'm going to let you know my mission of how I'm doing it, what I'm going after. And I guarantee you, if you can inject that into your branding, inject that into your message, inject that into what you produce and what you put out, you will stand out, you'll be the expert, you'll be the number one in a very short period of time. When I see a coach who's been trying to be a coach for years, it's the first thing we work on, because if we can change or get specific on this, they generally have the skill set to execute on that and to execute for their clients and to get clients results, but they're not getting attention, they're not standing out. So I truly hope this video helps. I know we've been ripping through it, so rewatch it if you have to. If you have questions, leave them in the comments below. A lot of these videos come from questions and comments from you. So feel free to join the discussion, join our Facebook community of over 5,200 online coaches. And ultimately, if you're looking for more help, you've got two options. We've got the free stuff, we've got the podcast and the coaching channel. It's literally become a database of some of the biggest questions that coaches are asking. It's raw, it's real, I don't hold back. Tap into it. If you're looking for free, consume that, use it, take action on it. If you're looking to move your coaching business forward and you're looking to pay to play, check out the Coaches University. It is a stay until you get paid coaching program. I don't know anyone else doing that. When you join our community, when you join our tribe, when you join the Coaches University, we help you, we coach you, we mentor you until you're working with clients, until you're growing your business, until you're where you want to be. You join all the coaching calls for as long as you need to keep moving forward. It's also probably the biggest database, which is the Coaches University, our membership site. It's constantly being updated, and any question, any resource from if you're just starting and you're trying to get your first client, or you're trying to get your 10th client, or you want to work with 100 clients, but you want to systemize and scale your operations, all of that is covered in the Coaches University. So check that out. I'll put the link around here somewhere, at lucasrubix on Instagram for absolutely anything else. Truly hope this served you, and I'll see you in the next video.